Humanoid robots, they're not just for sci-fi movies anymore. They are literally walking out of the research lab and onto the factory floor right now. The revolution is here. So let's get into it and break down exactly what's going on. And of course, this brings us to that huge, kind of uncomfortable question that's on everybody's mind. And it's not a hypothetical anymore, it's real. Are these machines actually going to take our jobs? To get a sense of the scale here, just look at Amazon. They already have 1 million robots working in their facilities. 1 million. And now they're starting to test humanoids to work alongside them. This isn't some far-off future. This is today. So as you can imagine, this has kicked off this incredible, intense global race. We've got everyone from the biggest tech giants to these scrappy little startups, all rushing to build the workforce of the future. Let's meet the key players, shall we? First up, the one that's been grabbing all the headlines, Tesla's Optimus. Back in 2021, this was just a concept, someone in a suit. Now, it's a real walking prototype getting put through its paces in Tesla's own factories. And the ambition here, it is absolutely staggering. Elon Musk has said he believes Optimus could one day be more valuable than Tesla's entire car business. Just let that sink in. That's how seriously they're taking this. But, Tesla is definitely not alone in this race. There's a startup called Figure that has just exploded onto the scene with hundreds of millions in funding. Their bot, the Figure 01, is designed to be a general-purpose worker, and it's already in pilot tests, literally fetching parts in a car factory. Now, this race isn't just about what the robots can do, it's also about cost. And over in China, a company called Unitree has just unveiled a humanoid that costs as little as $15,000. A price point like that could be a total game changer for getting these things adopted worldwide. And of course, we have to talk about the OG, the pioneer, Boston Dynamics. You've probably seen their Atlas robot on YouTube doing backflips. Well, that YouTube star is now an all-electric model, and it's being tested for actual practical jobs like handling boxes. The acrobatic show-offs is finally learning to get a real job. Okay, so we've met the major players. But how in the world do these things actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the core tech that makes them tick. It really all boils down to this fundamental cycle called the perception-action loop. So step 1, sensors perceive the world around them. Step 2, an AI brain processes all that information and decides what to do. And step 3, actuators get the robot to act and move. It's just this constant loop, sense, think, act, over and over again. So what are these actuators I just mentioned? Well, the easiest way to think of them is as the robot's muscles. They're these powerful little electric motors inside every single joint that provide the strength to lift something heavy and the precision needed to, say, turn a wrist. And to perceive the world, these robots are just packed with sensors. They've got cameras for eyes, sometimes two for depth perception. They use LiDAR, which is a laser system to build these detailed 3D maps of a room. They have gyroscopes, which work just like our inner ear to keep them balanced. And some even have tactile sensors so they can feel how hard they're gripping something. But here is the biggest problem right now: power. All of that sensing and thinking and moving uses a ton of energy. Most of the humanoids out there today can only work for about 2 to 5 hours before they need to be recharged. I mean, compared to a human's full 8-hour workday, that is a massive limitation. All right, so this brings us to the big showdown. With all this incredible technology, how does a brand new, top-of-the-line humanoid actually stack up against a human worker on the job? Let's compare. This chart really lays it all out, doesn't it? Humans are amazing at adapting to new situations, and we're fast and agile when a task isn't perfectly predictable. Robots, they're slow, they're deliberate, and they really struggle if anything changes. And we already mentioned that huge endurance problem. But they do have one incredible superpower: skill replication. You teach one robot how to do a task, and boom, you can copy that software to an entire army of them instantly. And really, it all comes down to this one crucial point. Humans are generalists. We're built to handle surprises, learn new things, and solve problems we've never seen before. Robots, for all their strength and precision, are specialists. They are fantastic at that one single repetitive task they've been programmed for, but pretty lost with anything outside of that. So, knowing all this, knowing their strengths and their weaknesses, what does this all actually mean for our jobs and for society? Let's zoom out and look at the big picture.
Well, if you look at history, automation has always been a two-sided coin. Yes, some jobs get displaced, but new, often better roles get created. Amazon, for example, claims that its massive robot army has actually led to upskilling around 700,000 of its human workers into new roles.
And that's really the core of the debate, right? On one side, there's the fear of mass layoffs in places like manufacturing and logistics. But on the other side, there's the hope that by automating all the dull, dirty, and dangerous jobs, we actually free up human beings to do more creative, more strategic, and frankly, more interesting work.
Okay, so let's circle all the way back to where we started. Based on everything we've just talked about, let's try to get a final verdict. Are our jobs safe?
The honest answer, based on the tech we have today, is yes, for now. What we're almost certainly going to see is a slow, gradual integration of these robots into the workforce. It's not going to be a sudden overnight replacement of everybody.
So who is most at risk in the short term? Well, it's the jobs that play right into a robot's strengths. We're talking about work that's super repetitive, tasks that happen in a very controlled and predictable place, like a specific station on an assembly line. Basically, roles that involve simple physical labor.
So if there's one thing you should take away from all this, it's that the human touch is not going anywhere anytime soon. When it comes to being versatile, solving new problems creatively, and adapting to the unexpected, we are still miles and miles ahead.
Look, the robots are coming. That's a fact. And they are going to change the world of work. But that leaves us with a much more powerful question than just, are they going to take our jobs? It forces us to ask ourselves, in a future where robots handle all the routine stuff, what do we want our own work to actually look like? What do we want it to be?